The UN Under-Secretary General for Humanitarian Affairs has expressed deep concern over the serious shortage of food and water in the Gaza Strip. Valerie Amos also called terrible the current situation in the impoverished enclave. She says brokering a ceasefire to put an end to violence in Gaza is absolutely vital. The UN official has also called for major changes in delivery of relief as funding falls short because of growing number of conflicts across the globe. With crises in Iraq, Syria and elsewhere, the UN funding appeals have risen to a record $16.9 billion in 2014 to help more than 50 million people. The number stood at $6 billion in 2004. The Israeli Prime Minister has dismissed the UN Human Rights Council's condemnation of Tel Aviv as grotesque.
What is equally grotesque is that Israel was condemned in the Human Rights Council. It's a travesty of justice. It's a travesty of fairness. It's a travesty of common sense. It's a travesty of truth. And I think that it will not prevent us from continuing to act to defend our people, to protect them against rocket attacks.
At a joint press conference with the British Foreign Secretary Philip Hammond in Jerusalem, Al-Quds, Benjamin Netanyahu once again put the blame on Hamas and the Islamic Jihad for the death of Palestinian civilians. Elsewhere, the UK's Foreign Secretary, who's been in office for only 9 days, supported Israel, saying Tel Aviv has the right to defend itself. Hammond also fell short of blaming Israel for its crimes against innocent people of Gaza and held Hamas accountable for the current cycle of violence.
Britain has been very clear, I have been very clear, Prime Minister Cameron has been very clear, that this current cycle of violence was triggered by Hamas firing hundreds of rockets at Israeli towns and cities indiscriminately and in breach of international humanitarian law.
The joint news conference came a day after the UN Human Rights Council agreed to launch a probe into crimes committed by Israel during its military offensive in the Gaza Strip. The US was the only country which voted against this decision.